quit while I'm ahead and sit down.
No, you don't.
First of all, can I say welcome to everybody on behalf of my wife Janice and James's parents, Sally and Stuart. I would like to thank you all for coming on the occasion of Kimberley and James's wedding. And may I say, looking around the room, how well turned out you all are. But of course, not as good as Kimberley here. Who I think looks as beautiful as ever, and it's quite easy to see where she gets it from. In the fast pace of today, it's not very often that you get the chance to have all our families and close friends in one place. So it's a real pleasure to see everybody here today. As father of the bride, I am expected to say a few words about Kimberley. Now, when I sat down and thought about things, quite a few things came to mind. And so I suggested them to Kimberley and Janice first and was told there was no way I could tell those stories. Of course, if anybody wants to hear the stories, if they simulate it, they can hear the unedited versions. But one of my earliest memories of Kimberley is when she was about 5, trying to teach her how to dance, with her standing on my feet, dancing around the room, usually to Tamla Motown. This is why when you see Kimberley dance now, she will look like she's dad dancing. You may not be aware, but there are a few police officers and neighbours here today. Which reminds me of when she wanted a 15th birthday party at home. It was just a few friends, pizza, videos, so we left her to it. On returning, it had turned into 100 uninvited guests, neighbours, police officers, and even an off-duty police inspector. All trying to get in or out of the house, but it all turned out okay in the end, thanks to our good neighbours, Brenda and Bob. Was she? But I have to say, we've always been very proud of our beautiful daughter. Now, I must apologise to James. He had decided to see Janice and myself about asking Kimberley to marry him. When he came over, James was of course very nervous, and so was I. But I have to confess, it was more to do with listening to the Albion, playing Arsenal on the radio. We were winning 3-2. With 10 minutes to go, and so I asked him just to give me 10 minutes. And so I could give him my full attention. It was the longest, nerve-wracking 10 minutes for both of us. But happily, we both got Now, as to my part in the wedding ceremony, it is simply escorting Kimberley down the aisle and at the end pass her hand to James. That would be my part finished. It's not until you realise what it means, giving the care and protection to someone else. This is of course James, but I can't think of anyone better, and I know she's in very good hands. Finally, I've now reached the stage where I would like you all to be upstanding and raise your glasses to toast the happy bride. but also to the happy news that you will all be aware of, that in March, myself, Janice, Sally and Stuart will be made proud grandparents. Kimberley and James. All the best.
All the best.
All the best. All the
I'll let that down together.
Hello? Right, I'm going to start with the thank yous. My wife and I would like to thank everyone for coming today. But I'm going to start with Jan and Ma, Kim's mum and dad, who are wonderful people and have treated me like a son. And I've loved getting to know them, and I understand why Kim loves them so much. They have put so much into this wedding and have made it such an incredible day. We're both eternally grateful for everything you've done. I want to thank Mal especially for letting me marry his beautiful daughter, and it is a good job that Albion won on that day. And I also want to thank Jan for helping me get the engagement ring. I also want to thank my own mum and dad, Sally and Stuart, for everything they've done. So I'd like to give some flowers to the mothers. I'll just grab those. I also want to thank my three best men, Ryan, Simon and Michael. You've all played your parts perfectly and I really appreciate that. So I've got you a couple of little presents as well. Shoes on. No, they're all different. Good. Well, this is right. They're bigger than that. You can wear that one. It's a dressing gown. You used to like to walk around the house naked. I used to live with Ryan. It was quite revolting. I also want to give a really special thank you to Mark Davis, who's been an unbelievable usher. He's just been running around doing all sorts of different things. He's gone to the printers to pick things up, and we've got a little gift for you, Mark. So I don't know if you want to come over. So I can't really get around there. I also want to thank Aaron. That was a wonderful reading. Absolutely unbelievable. Fantastic. Definitely a film star. So, Aaron, if you'd like to come up here, we've got a little present for you. So now I'd like to just talk a little bit about Kim. the first one. No, seriously, Kim, you look absolutely stunning. And you are without doubt the most gorgeous girl I have ever seen. And I'm so proud to be your husband. So I'll just tell you a little bit about how we met. We met in the Jam House in Birmingham. And I was just going to the bar to get a drink. And I kicked Kim. I just went to like sort of stand like that and then kicking you, didn't I? And she said, "Oh, you kicked me." So I had to buy her a drink to apologise. And then somehow it turned into us arranging to go on a date. And so Kim turned up at the Swallow's Nest, near to where the church was. And she was even more stunning than I could remember. And I quickly realised what an incredible girl Kim is. And after 3 weeks, we booked a little holiday to Morocco. We got engaged in Morocco after 3 months. And now we're having a baby just over a year later. So I think we're going to slow down a little bit now. But somebody once said to me, "When you know, you know." And I never understood that, but now I know. It hit me like a ton of bricks. And I love Kim so much and love spending every minute with her. I am so fortunate. And we are so happy together, and my number one priority is keeping that forever. So next then, I would like to toast to the 4 bridesmaids, Jade, Gemma, Claire and Lorna. And you all look fantastic and have done a fantastic job. And we've got a couple of little gifts for you as well. So I'll bring those over. There you are, Jade. Finally, on behalf of my wife and I, we hope you all enjoy celebrating this evening with us. So thank you all very much. I'm now going to hand you over to one of the best men, Ryan, for his speech.
Hello. I might just say, Malcolm, after hearing that speech, that's put me under a lot of pressure. It was pretty good. And James yourself, I don't know what it is, but it seems like when you're married, you just don't get the nerves to do a speech, I guess. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. If there's anybody here this afternoon who's feeling nervous, apprehensive, and a little queasy at the thought of what lies ahead, it's probably because you just got married to James Edwards. Kim, that was for you. My name's Ryan, and I'm obviously one of the 3 best men today. I think this shows how indecisive James is about making a decision. But I guess he's got the best, closest, in the past and present, friends, aside here, including myself. And I guess what James wants, James gets. Kim. Michael, Simon and I are all very happy and proud to have been asked to be the best men today. Hello? Who is that? It's been a real honour to have been involved so close to things today. And it's certainly been an honour for all 3 of us to have been asked by James. Thank you. I'm going to take a little bit of a lead on the speech, but it's still a 3-man show, so you'll get a chance to hear from Michael and Simon very shortly. As best man, I guess I'm supposed to offer some insight into married life for the bride and groom. Now, never been married myself, and actually nowhere near close to it. I'm not sure I'm qualified to give any advice whatsoever. However, the one thing I will say to Kim is if James turns out to be half as loyal and supportive a husband as he has been a friend, you can look forward to a very happy and long marriage. Okay. I first just want to say, firstly, of the next part of it, of how lovely the church was today. I think you'll all agree with me that the church and the surroundings were really nice. It was the first time I saw it last night and in the light today. But it was a really nice spot, and I can see why you picked it. Really, really beautiful it was. Just a couple of thank yous now. I personally want to thank, obviously yourselves, want to thank Kim's parents, Malcolm and Janet. Janice, sorry.
I told you to get that right. Did I tell you to get that right?
Can I just say, I asked James before, and he said he was Mal and Jan. And just before I stood up, he said, make sure you say Malcolm. So I was just saying Jan. And I thought it's 50-50. So I was really winking at them. Sorry.
I'll invite you to the divorce.
So anyway, yeah, James's parents, Sally and Stuart, thank them for collectively putting the wedding together. The venue here, you know, it looks really, really nice, especially on the canal. This room, I think for the food is amazing, and downstairs looks really nice. So I think special thanks to Malcolm and Janice for putting everything together. And Sally and Stuart, you've got the honeymoon coming up, James and Kimberley, which I know you're aware of. It's tomorrow. I hope you got your visas, by the way.
Yeah, we got it.
I take you organise that one as well.
Yeah.
In advance, yeah. Okay. They're going to India, by the way, everyone. No one knows, so I'm sure it's going to be magnificent. And well worth the expense as well. You'll be glad to be advised, I'm sure. And Malcolm, Janice, as James said earlier, the dress that Kim's in looks stunning, and even more so by Kim wearing it. I just want to just do a quick toast before we do the final one. Really, obviously we want to taste the one I do because I haven't touched the drop yet. But just a big thank you and acknowledgement of the work, the substantial pounds that have gone into today. So if you just raise our glasses, please, just to the parents.
Cheers.
Okay. As I said, Kim looks amazing today. Fantastic choice of dress. I know absolutely nothing about dresses. I never even saw you dress when I wrote this speech. It's a fantastic dress. Again, I hadn't seen you today, but you looked and looked great. And even Jimmy does. We call him Jimmy, some of us do, lads. But even James does, who'd have thought, eh? Shocking. As well as Kim looking so beautiful today, I just want to give a bit of limelight to the bridesmaids as well. So I want to just give them a bit more attention, really, try and make them shake a little bit like I am, hopefully. So I think if we individually ask them to stand up, Gemma, firstly, just to show yourself off. Switch story, everyone. I believe Jade's sitting next to Gemma. Claire, you're next. And Lorna, I can see you there. And look at Evie as well. Okay. What I'm going to do now is just pass you on to Simon and Michael. Told them they've got 1 minute. They're not sitting line right here. So I'll just pass the microphone on to Simon, and he'll have a few very brief words. Simon.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I found out yesterday I had to do a bit with the speech, so I've been racking my brains today to try and think of something interesting and unique about James. I met James 20 years ago at school. I had the pleasure of living with him for 5 years. And I think the most valuable lesson I learned in those 5 years living with James, always give it 10 minutes after he's been in the bathroom. It's a lesson you never forget. But he's a great bloke, immense friend, and a pleasure to have known him, and I wish Kim and James all the very best. That's me. So have a nice evening.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Michael. I've known James since we were 6 years old. Go back many, many years. We lived next door to each other for a good 15, 16 years. Went to school and got up to some little games and tricks and things I shan't discuss with yourselves, you know. But yeah, congratulations. You've done a fantastic job. You've done really, really well, and all the best for the future. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Back to me. That was quite good because I had to write mine down. Okay, obviously I'm here today because I'm best mate to James. Just to give you a bit of information really why I've been lucky enough to stand here today. Myself and James, we knew each other years really from primary school, so I think it was about 5 when we first met. We were still about a foot taller than now, no mind. And then obviously high school as well up to now, but we didn't really know so well at high school really, we kind of drifted apart a bit. I think James became a bit of a geek, so that kind of didn't help. You did, I didn't. Of course, I wouldn't have said that. And also he got into basketball as well, so that obviously made me nowhere near friends with him. So we certainly drifted off away from it. But I really became really good mates with James, really, from about 15, 16, I'd say. Definitely really settled in as close friends then. Constant mates, really, doing everything together that 16, 17, 18, and so on, up to 31-year-olds do. I know James's parents really well, Sally and Stuart, and his sister also, for many years. Really great family, always made me feel welcome, and been really nice to me since I was a kid. And I know that Kim, he fell into a really good family setup there, just as I know James has, from a limited times knowing Malcolm and Janice. See, I wrote that and I hadn't even met her. James is a really good person. He's not the prettiest, sorry Sally. I know you still think he's good looking, but he's not. But he's a really good person, and he's not bad looking really. I'm his mate, I'll play with him now. As I say, he's a great person. We're best mates really, but I can easily say we're like brothers. So I wrote that bit, and then a couple of weeks ago, I'm sure you all know the film Twins was on, and it made me feel that's a bit of a strange thing to say, brothers, because it's Danny DeVito Arnold Schwarzenegger. You obviously haven't got the body of Arnie, I've probably got the height of Danny, I don't know. So I thought, well, I'll stick to best mates. Yeah. So we'll stick to best mates on that one thing. But I lived with him also, like as Simon did, for just short 5 years. And I learned a lot from James during that time, and it certainly made me a better person, genuinely did. His laid-back attitude rubbed off on me. And also he's the most genuine person I've met, and I really believe that. I thought, you know, I've never really done a proper best man speech, certainly on the top table, so I thought, shall I go into stories and potentially bore you all with it? So I thought, I won't go into stories. So I didn't think I'd mention the story we went to Ibiza when we were 19, just turned 19 actually. We went there in October, we didn't know any better. Got there, the season had ended. I think it rained for the full week, if I remember correctly. So we just sat in the, what can be called a hotel room, £100 a week, probably not, for the full week, just singing whilst it was raining. But we got really drunk one night, so I won't bother mentioning the encounter we had with the Spanish police. I'm sure you remember that, James. It involved guns, whatnot. And it really did. But he told me not to mention that one, so I thought I'd just leave that one on the side. Also, it's Freddie Mercury animated impressions. After living with James for 4.5 years, I perfected the Freddie Mercury dance. No, I can't do it now. He did it all the time. You know, he got a bit frustrating. It's part of the reason why we went our separate ways. But he's really good at it. He's really good. Do you want to? Okay. Also, he's terrible around music. Absolutely awful. Stuart, it's your fault. It is your fault. And it all comes from Stuart. Leonard Cohen. You know, James wouldn't have known. He wouldn't have known who Leonard Cohen was. It was your fault. So I just wanted to have a little dig at you. Yeah. I thought I've got to, you know. I wanted to do a bit more, but I thought I won't get stuck in this too much. I don't see it very often. And also, James, just finally, he went for a brief period of thinking he was the hardest person in the Midlands. It was never a national thing, but it was definitely in the Midlands. But without going into too much detail, it did lead to an ambulance being called once when he was on a night out, and I still remember that punch. But I'm sure his sister remembers it as well, because we were both in A&E, crying together. But there's loads more, but like I say, I won't bother boring you with stories. But finally, I just want to ask you to raise your glasses in celebration of the love and beauty on display at the wedding, as you offer a toast to the bride and groom in honour of their marriage to Kimberley and James. Thank you.